BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is sponsored by
1080 Media, your newest and best source for creative marketing, video, web, photo, and print.
Since 1875, the Mahoning Valley Historical Society has been in charge of preserving the valley's history. And with that comes a lot of stuff, a lot of artifacts, documents, and they're stored throughout buildings all over downtown, as well as at the Arms Museum. And the archival space now is at a critical shortage. So we've been looking, and the board has been looking for a center, a place to have community events and the display of the historical artifacts, as well as a research space. And luckily, they found a historic landmark building right downtown Youngstown in phenomenal shape, and it's the historic Harry Burt building, which is where the Good Humor bars were patented and mass-produced.
Tell me a little bit about Harry Burt and his connection with the entrepreneurial spirit in the Mahoning Valley.
The tie-ins here are so strong and so great. When you look at the material that the Historical Society has, the two flavors you get are the rich ethnic fabric that we have here, and then the story of entrepreneurship, innovation. Well, this building, Harry Burt, he programmed every square inch of it. It was a candy factory, an ice cream factory, but before Hershey's time, he had glass-lined walls so that people could come in, they could go to the soda fountain, they could go up to the ballroom and dance every night. There was a house band, but at the same time they could tour and watch them making the chocolates and watch them making the ice cream. So the building is designed for flow, and the staircase, the grand staircase that goes up through the center of it, and light. Huge skylights and lit from back to front. So when you're in the building and you're looking out over Youngstown, it's such a pleasure to see the streetscape and the actual look of Youngstown from the second and third floor of the Burt building.
And this building's been in continuous use since the 1930s when it was constructed.
It was constructed in the
20s,
in the teens. I think it was about 1919. Yes. And Harry Burt bought it around 2021 and then reconfigured it. It was later sold and it was Ross Radio. Another story of entrepreneurship. I mean, Ross Radio was the place. I mean, back, with the large mills and before cell phones, people had to communicate, and that's where they went, was Ross Radio. So yes, it was full. The building was occupied until it was purchased by the Historical Society in 2007. So we don't have any sort of vacancy issues, water damage, roof leaks, anything like that. The structure is in very fine shape.
And where does the campaign stand right now? What are your goals, and when do you expect to have this project off the ground and underway?
Well, one of the great reasons I wanted to talk with you today is that we are announcing that we are now at the 60% mark, and we've been doing this quietly. It's a $6 million campaign. $4 million is for the adaptive reuse and restoration of the building itself, and $2 million for endowment.
And how difficult is it in this economic environment to raise this money?
I would say that it might be a little bit slower, but people are not saying no. They might say, please wait till the first quarter of 2010. But the recognition of the value of a community history center like this in downtown on West Federal, with everything that's happening on West Federal, it's really going to be the anchor at that end of West Federal. And as people come in there and utilize these public gathering spaces, not only are they going to buy into being downtown and the other cultural and different restaurants that are downtown, but they're also going to buy into the Historical Society and everything that has been saved since 1875, and now we can tell the story to a much broader audience, and especially classes of kids coming through the building.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is sponsored by